IPMNation.com.
Visit Puerto Rico, America's favorite colony, territory. The Caribbean island famous for its tropical beaches, historic icons, breathtaking scenery, but mostly for... Fortunately, however, few know about the real Puerto Rico, a territory of the United States since 1898, when we seized it from the Spanish, who in turn stole it from the Taínos, which makes Puerto Ricans U.S. citizens, well, second-class citizens, because despite fighting in every one of our wars, they still can't vote for president and have no representation in Congress. In other words, U.S. citizens who have all say in the laws the U.S. government makes for them. And to bring you the ultimate colonial experience, we've made a few over the years, like the gag law, which banned their flag and brutally suppressed independence movements, bombing the crap out of Vieques for 60 years, conducting birth control experiments on Puerto Rican women, and of course, the Jones Act, which enforced a U.S. corporate monopoly that crippled local industry and, along with other crap, created tons of debt which Wall Street vulture funds bought up like blood-sucking chupacabras. And when Puerto Ricans could no longer pay back that debt, we made a new law. No, not to ease poverty and unemployment, but to impose austerity measures, cutting pensions and the minimum wage, gutting university funding, closing down schools and hospitals. Today, many Puerto Ricans are fleeing the island from this unholy show we created, which of course gives rich gringos the chance to move in and buy up tropical beaches at a discount. Don't miss our special neo-colonial tax holiday package. And you too can be a pirate of the Caribbean, sipping pina colada with chupacabras, while Puerto Ricans get kicked out of their homes. Visit Puerto Rico, the island you never even knew we were colonizing the out of. Authorized by the Department for the War and Territories. Also responsible for bullshit in American Samoa, U.S. Virgin Islands, Northern Marianas, and Guam.
Sequence starts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. All right, enough of that.
Hello, everybody. Oh, welcome. You can tell my allergies are kicking up again. It's Matt Connarton Unleashed in the afternoon, and we are live on WMNH 95.3 FM, emanating from a bright, sunny, relatively warm downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. We're in that time of, we're in sort of that zone weather-wise where I leave to come do the show without any sort of jacket, no outerwear, just a shirt, well, and pants and everything else too, but I can't do the show without pants, as warm as it gets in here. Apparently it's an FCC regulation, but I may regret when I go to leave, when the sun goes down, I may regret not wearing a jacket. It's that type of thing. So anyway, we are live, WMNH 95.3 FM, also on Comcast 97 here in Manchester. We are streaming at WMNHradio.org. And, of course, we're on Facebook via Facebook Live in the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. Let's see. Hello to Heidi Hamer, who says, afternoon, Mr. Connarton. Or actually, she spelled it Connarton. Where's Johnny? Where's Johnny? I don't know. I assume you mean John Hopwood, and I'm deeply concerned. I did see him... He did do his television program last night, but that could have been a hologram. Hello to Tony Petrello in the Facebook live chat. Jenny is in there as well. She said she's home resting. Let's see. So we're supposed to have, hello to Wade Hall in the Facebook live chat. I think I saw Chris Rose's name as well. I know I've explained this before, but I've got two computers that I'm looking at with Facebook on them, and sometimes some of the names of the people who are watching, who are logged on, or in the Facebook live chat show up on one computer but not the other. So if I've missed you, I apologize. So it is Wednesday, April 17th, 2019. We are supposed to have a guest here, hip-hop artist Vibran. He is not here yet. Not to embarrass him, but he did say he would be here at 3:45 p.m. and, before the show. And he has not arrived, and I have not heard from him. I hope nothing has happened to him. Perhaps he's just trying to figure out the whole parking situation around here. Perhaps he thought that I'm in Manchester, Connecticut. I don't know. But so hopefully he'll arrive soon. And then we have some special guests coming in the second hour as well, who are also musicians. But I'm not going to announce who they are. We're going to let that be a surprise, because that's going to be really, really cool. And I'm very much looking forward to that. And that's not in any way to say that I'm not looking forward to speaking with Vibran, but I can't speak with him because he's not here yet. I don't know where he is. If you see him, send him my way. Hopefully I gave him the correct address. I'm always concerned in moments like this. It's like, did I screw up? Did I give him the wrong address? But no, pretty sure I gave him the correct one. So we shall see. But I haven't heard from the guy. So I don't know. Anyway, the number to call, 603-250-6007. If you would like to chime in on anything, 603-250-6007. I do have something pretty shocking to share with you, my friends. I'll tell you what, I did not see this coming. According to my favorite website, and hopefully yours, E.W. Jackson, who is he does a radio show apparently called The Awakening, and he's one of these right-wing pastors who they're into the end time stuff and all that, and they're a religious broadcaster. So he does this show called The Awakening, and a very shocking insight that he has revealed. According to E.W. Jackson, Pete Buttigieg, I think is how you say his name, Pete Buttigieg. He's the mayor who's one of the 197 candidates on the Democratic side running for president, and he is openly gay. And according to E.W. Jackson, Pete Buttigieg wants to turn America into a homocracy. My goodness, this is shocking. I had no idea. This must be that gay militant agenda that I've heard so much about, where they're trying to turn us all gay. I'm a little skeptical of that myself because I don't think it actually works that way. But let's hear E.W. Jackson out. I'll play the audio for you. I know some of you will be hesitant to take this seriously, and you might find yourself snickering at Pastor Jackson. You might think he's being a little bit ridiculous, and he probably is. I think Pete Buttigieg, however you say his name, I can't get used to his name. It's a weird name. There's too many vowels and not enough consonants. But I think he just wants to be president. I don't think he has any sort of agenda beyond that. But apparently, you just never know. So let's hear him out. We're going to listen to a little bit of this, of E.W. Jackson speaking on the matter, in the manner that he speaks on the matter. It doesn't matter if I say manner or matter. And as I always say, as is kind of the unofficial policy of the show, let's listen to him speak, not only with open minds, but with open hearts as well. Maybe he's figured something out, the rest of us have not. So here is E.W. Jackson speaking about openly gay mayor of, is it South Bend, Indiana? I think it's South Bend, and a presidential candidate, Pete Buttigieg.
His campaign, one of the things he did to, I guess, commemorate the announcement, Pete Buttigieg, or whatever it is, was to kiss his husband on stage. Yes.
That is shocking.
Big old smack in the mouth.
Is that what you call it? He smacked. He smacked. Wait a minute. Hold on.
And
hold on a second. One man smacking another man in the mouth is an act of violence, not affection. E.W. Jackson, are you sure Pete Buttigieg is even gay? Sounds to me like he's a very it sounds to me. I mean, if he just goes and smacks another man in the mouth like that, I mean, that sounds to me like a case of toxic masculinity. You can't just go around smacking people in the mouth. I mean, yeah, I understand that might happen at the bar if you've had one too many and you're feeling a little surly, or perhaps in a mosh pit. But, after making an announcement of your candidacy, if you're just smacking people in the mouth, I mean, that's, I don't think that's, I don't take that quite the way you do, Reverend Jackson or Pastor Jackson or whatever it is we're supposed to call you, Father Jackson. I don't know. If we get a call today from Father Bruno Sarducci, I can ask him how exactly I should address E.W. Jackson. Anyway, so here's more. Actually, I'm going to back that up a little bit because I interrupted.
I just had stage, yes. Big old smack in the mouth.
A smack in the mouth.
Between two men.
Mm.
I just have to say this, and I'm going to say this to release all the people out there who think it but can't say it.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
By the way, okay. Now, is it fair to assume, and I didn't pre-listen to this because I like to give you my unvarnished, reaction to this. So I don't pre-listen to these clips. I know if it's somebody like E.W. Jackson, there's not going to be any profanity in it, so I know it's okay to just play it. Typically, when somebody says something like what he says, like what did he just say? I'm going to say this and kind of release this, on behalf of all the people who would like to say it but can't. He's probably about to say something somewhat bigoted, right? Isn't that usually, it's kind of like when somebody says, hey, I'm not racist or anything, but, and then they say something racist. That's kind of what he's doing here. Let's see.
All the people out there who think it, but they're afraid to say it because, of course, you get vilified for saying this.
Uh-huh.
And of course, this is the kind of thing, say, I have no plans whatsoever to run for public office.
Bummer.
You leftists out there can calm down.
That's too bad.
Because they are afraid somehow I might run for something and maybe one day win. But no, I want to keep doing what I'm doing.
Well, Trump won, so who knows?
For the foreseeable future, unless and until the Lord tells me to do something else. Because I missed my time on radio when I was away running. I missed that time, and I am really glad to be back, and I want to stay here.
Glad to have you, EW.
And keep doing this. And by the way, it's a lot more fun. I'll tell you something, folks. Running for office is not fun. This is a lot more fun. I enjoy this a lot more.
He is real. This is a long way to drive. He is really taking his time getting to the point. He's kind of like, I'm about to say something really bigoted, but I'm going to really drag it out before I actually say it.
No. But let me say this, because it is needed
finally
to release all those who want to say it but cannot.
Right. Okay.
A normal man is disgusted by the idea of two men kissing each other in the mouth. A normal man is disgusted by that.
Well, hang on a second. What does that have to do with Pete Buttigieg smacking somebody? I don't understand. I mean, hey, I think The Sopranos is the greatest show in the history of television. That's my personal opinion. But when Tony Soprano gave somebody a good smack in the face, I didn't think about two men kissing. What's with this guy, E.W. Jackson? He's confused.
People can try to be politically correct all they want, but a normal man is disgusted by it because it is not.
Actually, I think a normal man who is confident in himself and his masculinity, not toxic masculinity, but just plain good old heterosexual masculinity, is not bothered by it. Because if you're confident and secure in your own sexuality, why would you be so terribly threatened by the sexuality of others? Unless a normal man, in your viewpoint, is someone who is extremely insecure and freaked out by gay people, which the kind of folks E.W. Jackson associates with probably do fit that description.
Not what God made us for. It is not the way we are wired. It is not what we are made for. Men are made for women, and women are made for men, and the two complement each other.
Is that a Barry White song? Women are made for men are made for women, or something. Is that Barry White? I'll have to look that up.
Two men were not made to be sexually involved with each other. Two women were not made to be sexually involved with each other.
Well, I know a lot of heterosexual men who would definitely disagree with you on that. Well, never mind.
And so they do this publicly because they want to wear down the sense of disgust that people feel. They want to erode it. In fact, that was one of the big strategies that they came up with. After their big riot in New York at some nightclub where the police came to try to shut things down because there were complaints and whatnot, and they had a great big riot and fought the police and rebelled and all that. And one of the strategies...
I have no idea what he's talking about, by the way. I don't know if any of you know what he's talking about. I don't feel like looking it up, but I have no idea what he's this thing he's describing with the nightclub in New York. Did I miss something? There was a big riot?
They came up with coming out of that was that you have to wear down the sensibility of people by constantly throwing homosexuality in their face. just keep it before them. So that they just basically just give up.
Look, man. I don't know. I've never particularly felt like anything's being thrown in my face. I don't think that accepting people for who they are, accepting that not everyone in the world is exactly like me, accepting that everyone's different, everyone kind of has their own thing. Some people like cake, some people like ice cream, some people like both, whatever it is. I don't feel like accepting that and being fine with it and not being freaked out and not being so horribly insecure in who I am that I'm upset by who other people are if who other people are is different from who I am. I don't feel like that's the same thing as having anything thrown in my face. I don't think that believing that everyone should have the same rights and be treated with the same respect, et cetera, I don't feel like that's the same thing as having something thrown in my face. I don't feel like people like this guy, by the way, get particularly riled up when they see something like a gay pride parade and they go, oh, look, they're throwing it in our faces. No, they're not. They're having a parade. You don't have to go. And by the way, if you don't go, you're not getting anything thrown in your face because you don't have to participate and no one's forcing you to. Right? Guess what? I'm not going either. Because, that's not my thing. But if that's what they want to do, great. What do I care? I'm fine with it. I don't like parades in general. Even when I was a kid, I didn't like... I find parades painfully boring. Actually, a gay pride parade would probably be a lot more interesting than a typical parade with like a float of a Walt Disney character or something that I just personally don't give a crap about. A gay pride parade might actually be more interesting. I suppose if I were going to go to a parade, that's the kind of parade I would go to just to see it. It looks like they're having fun. It's not my deal, but I don't feel like because it exists, it's somehow being thrown in my face. People like him, they act like because something exists that they don't like, it's being thrown in their face. Or because something exists that they don't approve of existing, it's being thrown in their face. And if they're not actively condemning it, then it's being thrown in their face. Oh, and people are being indoctrinated into it. That's another thing people who think like this tend to think, right? Because, that's what all the gay people want to do is somehow turn us all gay and indoctrinate even though it doesn't work that way. Right? Let's see. Fred Bonig. Oh, Fred from the Daily Ripple joins us in the Facebook live chat. He says, you mean throwing religious ideology in your face isn't throwing something in your face? No, actually, I also, just as I don't feel, as a straight person, I don't feel threatened by gay people. As someone who's agnostic, I don't feel threatened by someone who's religious. I don't care. You do you. What would that be? Unisexual? How would that? I'm kidding. I don't know if anyway, that was a very bad, I don't know why I even went for that joke. That was really bad. Anyway, and I don't mean bad as in naughty. I just mean bad as in lame. I wish I could. I might edit that out of I'm kidding. I'm not going to edit it out of the podcast. But anyway, let's Fred also posted in the Facebook live chat a link to this thing that the Wikipedia page for what this guy, this E.W. Jackson, I'm sorry, the pastor E.W. Jackson is talking about the Stonewall riots. Just to get an idea quick, I'm not going to read the whole article, obviously, but it says the Stonewall riots were a series of spontaneous violent demonstrations by members of the LGBT community against a police raid that took place in the early morning hours of June 28th, 1969 at the Stonewall Inn in the Greenwich Village neighborhood of Manhattan, New York City. They are widely considered to constitute the most important event leading to the gay liberation movement and the modern fight for LGBT rights in the United States. Well, it's interesting that E.W. Jackson had to go all the way back to 1969 to find an example of how gay people are so threatening. Maybe it's because, as it says here in this Wikipedia article, that this is considered the most important event leading to the gay liberation movement. So according to E.W. Jackson's ideology, this was the beginning. This was the beginning of gay people wanting to be treated like human beings worthy of the rights of normal people. That's probably why he went to that.
I'm saying, well, yeah, it is what it is. I don't even want to see that. I really don't. I mean, it's disgusting.
Don't look at it, dude.
And all
Solve
the men
your
in
problem.
America, all the normal men in America.
Seriously, don't look at, who's forcing you to see that if you're so upset by it? Who's forcing you? Are you hanging out at Pete Buttigieg rallies? Are you going to tell me that you were a big fan of Pete Buttigieg or Buttigieg? I've heard his name said 10 different ways. Are you telling me that you're a big fan of his? And that you were supporting him and you were going to his rallies, but then this freaked you out and that's why you keep having to have this thrown in your face? Like you don't have to look. You don't have to see it if you don't want to see it. See, he's being dishonest when he says that. When he says, I don't want to see it, it upsets me to see it. I mean, he's being disingenuous is what I should say. I mean, he's telling the truth. He doesn't want to see it. I have no doubt that he's legitimately freaked out. But he's being disingenuous because he knows damn well you don't have to see it if you don't want to see it. I mean, you kind of have to go out of your way to see that, right? It's not like I parked the vehicle and then came up here to the radio station to do the show today, and as I was walking down Elm Street, I saw a whole bunch of dudes making out. Believe it or not, I'm pretty sure I've gone years, perhaps decades of my life without even seeing that at all. For real. Don't know how I've done it, but somehow I've managed to not see that. Right? And somehow I managed to know it exists without feeling threatened by it. Imagine that. Anyway.
No, it's true. They know it's true. But see, you just can't say that anymore because, oh my goodness, that's bigoted. That's hateful. It's just the truth.
No, you can say it. Actually, you have a First Amendment right to say it. But, your First Amendment doesn't guarantee you the right to not face consequences for the bigoted things you say if other people find them to be bigoted. Sorry, but you can say whatever you want, dude. Just know that not everyone's going to agree with you. See, again, it's disingenuous what he's saying. Because what he's really saying is, I can say this, but not everyone agrees with me. Not everyone's a homophobe. Not everyone's freaked out by the idea that there's gay people in the world. It's not that you can't say it. You can. But those of us who are not bigots aren't going to go along with what you're saying in the year 2019. That's what you're really upset about.
It's just the truth. You know what? When God calls it an abomination, you know what an abomination means? It means something particularly detestable, and it implies that it causes you to become nauseated.
Guess what? By the way, there are actual abominations going on in the world, and this ain't one of them. War is an abomination. Famine is an abomination. Should I keep going? People not having access to health care. People in the United States of America, the most prosperous, most successful, most innovative, wealthiest country in the history of the world, not having access to adequate or better than adequate health care. That's an abomination. People being executed by our government. And then we find out later, oops, turned out they might not have actually committed that murder. That's an abomination. You don't have to look very far to find actual abominations. So it's so interesting and weird to me that people like him, when they look around and they look for things to get upset and freaked out about, this is what they always go to, and this is what they hyper-focus on. They're not upset about war. They're not upset about famine. They're not upset about people not getting health care. They're not upset about homelessness. Any number of other things, right? None of that makes it on their radar most of the time. But this is the big thing that they have to fight against. This is what they're worried about. It's so fascinating. And there are theories about why that is. People who are especially homophobic, what it is that makes them feel that way. But we'll leave that alone. I don't want to, cast aspersions on a guy who would probably be really freaked out to hear anyone even suggesting anything. But Fred sent me a song, by the way, which I will definitely play. I just love the title, and it's Grant Peebles, which is great. Is it Peebles or Peoples? I always say his name wrong, don't I? It's Peebles, but for some reason I say Peebles. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's kind of fun to say Peebles. Anyway, but I will play that. Thank you, Fred. That looks like something we would all enjoy. But let's listen to the... Yes, there is more of this.
That's what it means. Like God says, because you're neither hot nor cold, I will spew you from my mouth. It's that kind of image. It's
Ew.
the image that says...
That sounds gross.
And of course, we know God is not getting sick at the stomach, but it's an anthropomorphizing of God's feelings about it, God's convictions about it, God's principles about it. And he says it is abominable. It is particularly detestable. The sad thing is, folks, we're going to see more and more of it because they've figured out that the strategy works. When you've got that going, and then you've got the mainstream media that will lambaste, ridicule, vilify, seek to destroy anybody who does what I'm doing right now, who just speaks out and says, well, look, we know, but this is the truth. This is how normal people feel. And they are basically forced to suppress those feelings because of the gay mafia and the degree to which they will try to destroy anybody who won't go along, anybody who won't say yes.
The gay mafia, wow. Yes, I've heard of that too. Oh, Fred, in regarding, when I was talking about people who are super homophobic, and there's actually been studies done about that, by the way, what really drives them and the way they think. Fred says, quote, "Methinks the lady doth protest too much." Ooh, a little Shakespeare to class up the show, too. That's good. By the way, hello to Bill Muckler, who joins us in the Facebook live chat, who says, "Hey, Matt." That's actually the end of the E.W. Jackson clip, so I think we'll go ahead and play this song. I think my first guest, who was supposed to be on the show today, blew me off. But that's okay, because we have other guests coming later in the show, and I'm not going to say, and they will not blow me off. I'm fairly certain of it, but I'm not going to say who they are, just in case they do blow me. No, I'm actually not worried about them blowing me off, but they are going to be a lot of fun, and I just kind of want it to be a surprise. But they are also musicians, and well, you'll understand when they get here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play this song from it is Grant Peoples, not Peebles. Fred clarified that in the Facebook live chat. It's Peoples. I don't know why I say Peebles. Maybe I knew somebody earlier in my life with the last name Peebles, and that's why maybe I knew a Grant Peebles, and that's why I say Peebles instead of Peoples. I don't know, but this is Grant Peoples. Let's give this a listen.
Well, the gay and lesbian sons and daughters of the Southern Confederacy, where they built a float and then they entered it in our 4th of July parade. There were ladies wearing leather and men wearing lace and others wearing pink leotard, and with a swish and a swagger they come strutting down the street, waving the stars and bars. Yeah, you gay and lesbian sons and daughters, the Southern Confederacy. Well, they built a float and entered it in our 4th of July parade. There was a fellow with a flute and a tutu playing Dixie with a skinny drummer boy, and his big butchy gal, she was the majorette, directing with an obscene toy. Yeah, you gay and lesbian sons and daughters, the Southern Confederacy. Well, they built a float and entered it in 4th of July parade. Well, the float had a poster of old Stonewall Jackson and another of Truman Capote. And there was Billie Jean King and old Elton John, but the biggest was a Robert E. Lee. Yeah, you gay and lesbian sons and daughters, the Southern Confederacy. Well, they built a float and entered it in the 4th of July parade.
We've got 2 homosexuals down here who are trying to get away with murder. They've got 2 floats and they've got a bunch of tassels attached to their body, their person, their whole person. It's like they're rolled around in glitter and it's unacceptable. It's the 4th of July. It's not some sort of freak show.
Was it a finger in the eye of old Uncle Sam to wave the rebel flag on Independence Day? Or just a poke in her ribs of that long lost cause for these queers to carry on this way? Yeah, you gay and lesbian sons and daughters, the Southern Confederacy. Well, they built a float and entered it in the 4th of July parade. Yeah, they built a float and entered it in the 4th of July parade.
Oh, I love it. That is Grant Peoples. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Fred. Fred always sends great stuff for the show. Fred Bonig from the Daily Ripple. And hello to Dr. Jeff Cassell, who joins us in the Facebook live chat, as well as Kevin Morrissey. Hello, Kevin. Let's see. So I did just get an email from our first guest on the show, Vibrant, apologizing. He said he tried to email me earlier, but it must not have gone through, which is possible. You know, the email will fail us on occasion. I'll take him at his word, I guess. No, but he said he's not feeling well. He's under the weather. So I told him, which, I mean, if that's the case, I'd rather he not come in anyway. Don't want to get me sick. It's all about me. So anyway, I told him, I said, no worries. Let me know when you feel better and we'll reschedule. But we do have other guests coming. And we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this? Hello? It's the Phantom. You know what happens. It's, people, they call, right? And they get a little shy. They're like, oh my goodness, this is, I'm live on the air. Anyway, we're going to try again. Hi, welcome. You're on the air.
Hey, Matt. How are you today?
Oh, hey. I know that voice. How are you? Are you looking for John Hopwood?
Wow. I could always use a little more Hopwood in my life, but that's not the specific reason for my call today, no.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe because there's actually some people here working on a documentary called Searching for Hopwood. I don't know if you were aware of that, but why are you calling?
I'm not aware of it because it's a silly joke he just made up, but I'm calling because I'm curious about that. That song was interesting to me. I couldn't quite tell if it was pro gay or anti-gay. It was kind of interesting.
Right.
How do you take it?
Well, I don't take it either way. I take it as, because I don't think of it as pro or, well, certainly not, it clearly isn't anti-gay, but I don't think of it as pro-gay. I think of it more as just pro-acceptance. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. So you're pro-gay marriage. You're a good guy, right?
I always say I was pro-marriage equality before it was cool to be pro-marriage equality.
Oh, that's cool. Well, that's why we love you, Matt. You know, sometimes we call some of these shows and some of these guys are real homophobic, and we got to bring out our friend the Fat Master who likes to batch off to him. But there's no need for that with you. You're a good fella.
I try to be. I try to be the best fella I can be.
Anyways, you read about that story about there was, I guess, a prostitution ring, and they were saying that there was a bunch of bad press for this brothel, and they said none of the Johns are going to come back. And I was thinking, well, I'd like one John to come back to the damn show, and that's John Hopwood.
I know. I miss him. And you know, you know what I enjoy about him, and I don't know if you've noticed this about him, is that it's almost impossible to have any kind of linear conversation with him. And I find that exciting.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. Is there any thoughts of when he will be returning? I was listening to your show yesterday, and I guess there was some people calling in trying to figure out if he was going to be coming back as well. I don't think I'm the only one.
No, it was fascinating. We had Han Jopwood called in looking for him, and then we had a woman named Jen Hopwood who claimed that she's not related. It's odd, though, in both the case of Han and Jen, they kind of hinted that they knew where he was or something, because they were saying something about his phone, like they had his phone, and saying that John was just waiting for my call, almost as though they had kidnapped him or something. It was very strange. And then I think someone else did call, and we had someone, I think his name was Perry M. Durant, in the Facebook live chat was looking for Hopwood. It was amazing.
Get him back on, Matt. Give the people what they want.
I do. I want to. He's a good fella, too. You know.
You know it. All right. Well, thanks for taking my call, Matt. You're a good egg. We support you in the Hopwood battles of 2019. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye. Very nice. Yes. I mean, I'm worried. And John Hopwood, like I said earlier, he did do his television show last night, but I didn't hear from him at all. So it could have been a hologram. Like, like years ago at Coachella, when for the first time they did I think they had a Tupac or a Biggie, or maybe it was both of them. They had holograms performing. Very exciting. There's a lot of questions about whether that's even really okay to do that. It seems a little weird. I guess now there's a Ronnie James. I'm not kidding about this, by the way. 100% serious. I guess there's a Ronnie James Dio hologram that you can go and see perform. I'd like to, Last in Line is a great song. I would love to hear, or Rainbow in the Dark. I would enjoy hearing those performed by a Ronnie James Dio hologram if I can't hear the real Ronnie James Dio. And I can't hear the real Ronnie James Dio, and neither can you, because he's dead. So short of being able to reanimate him somehow, maybe the hologram is the next best thing. Let's see. Peru's ex-president Garcia dies after shooting himself to avoid arrest. Wow. That never happens in the United States. We never, I don't think we've had, have we ever had a former president of the United States take his own life? I don't think we have, but apparently in Peru, things are a little different. This is from Reuters. I don't know what drew me to this story other than I don't know. Maybe I'm just feeling a little dark today. You know what has me feeling a little dark? It's the lack of John Hopwood. It says here, Dateline Lima, Peru. That sounds like the name of a person. I mean Lima, as in Lima in Peru, not Lima, Peru. Doesn't that sound like, did you see that new Lima, Peru movie? Or Lima, Peru, she's making a big comeback. She's got a new TV series. It says here, Peru's former president, Alan Garcia, died in a hospital in Lima on Wednesday, hours after shooting himself in the head to avoid arrest in connection with a bribery probe, authorities said on Wednesday. Garcia, who had 6 adult children, was 69 years old. A skilled orator, elected president twice, first as a firebrand leftist and then as a champion of foreign investment and free trade, Garcia had been dogged by allegations of corruption in recent years that he had repeatedly denied. Garcia was one of 9 people a judge had ordered to be arrested on Wednesday for alleged involvement in bribes distributed by Odebrecht, a Brazilian construction company that triggered Latin America's biggest graft scandal when it admitted in 2016 that it had paid kickbacks to politicians across the region to secure lucrative contracts. By the way, as I'm reading this, I'm suddenly struck by a fear, a concern that as I feel a cold chill in the room, we talked about John McCain on the show, and I ended up inadvertently, and I ended up making him my official co-host. I had summoned, conjured, if you will, the ghost of John McCain, who now now he won't leave. I hope I'm not, by reading this story, I'm not inadvertently conjuring the ghost of Alan Garcia. How awful would that be? Because he'd probably be, he wouldn't be speaking English, presumably, and I wouldn't be able to understand him. My goodness. Garcia was one of 9 people. Oh, I read that already. See, I'm distracted by worries about summoning yet another ghost here in the studio. Fred says in the Facebook live chat, you said orator and 69. This show is getting weird. No, Fred. You've got this confused with another program. You're thinking of Matt Connarton Unsheathed, which is a very different show. It's only available on the dark web, and I'm legally prohibited from telling you how to find it, but that is not available here on WMNH. While 3 former presidents in Peru have also been ordered to jail in connection with 3 former presidents in Peru. Wow. It's like Illinois here in the United States. We have a history of sending former governors of Illinois to prison. There's Rod Blagojevich, who might be out now. Is he out now, Blagojevich? There was another guy whose name escapes me. I wish I could remember his name because he did something in Illinois that I really liked. He suspended the death penalty, and he was a Republican who had been pro-death penalty. He made a lot of people mad, but he did the right thing, which I thought was really cool at the time because I'm hugely anti-death penalty, but now I can't remember the guy's name. Maybe I formed a mental block because the same guy who I considered a hero winded up disappointing me and all the Illinoisans by being corrupt and getting tried and convicted and going to prison. And I think he's still in. Anyway, and I think there's at least one other former governor of Illinois. That's if you're looking at a list of states, and you probably assumed this already, just based on me talking about these former governors going to prison. If you look at a list of states where there's a lot of corruption, like what are the most corrupt states in the U.S., you're going to find Illinois pretty high on the list, if you couldn't already glean that from what I was saying. Okay, so, quote, others might sell out, not me, Garcia said in some of his last broadcast comments on Tuesday, repeating a phrase he had used frequently as his political foes became ensnared in the Odebrecht investigation. Obrecht, I'm thinking of Dr. Obrecht from General Hospital. And if you're wondering how I would even know the character Dr. Obrecht from General Hospital, yes, I am embarrassed and ashamed, in case you're wondering. Members of his once powerful APRA party announced his death to crowds gathered outside of Hospital Casimiro Ulo, I don't know why I'm even attempting to pronounce that, where he suffered 3 cardiac arrests and underwent emergency surgery. APRA never dies, his supporters chanted to news cameras as police in riot gear stood by. Okay. Vizcarra's government ordered flags to be flown at half-mast. Quote, I'm dismayed by the death of former President Alan Garcia, Vizcarra said on Twitter. I send my condolences to his family and loved ones. Garcia's death shocked the Indian country that had watched him become one of the world's youngest presidents when elected at 36. Wow, in 1985. A term that was marked by a severe economic crisis and the rise of leftist rebel groups. He was elected to another 5-year term in 2006 after remaking himself as a free market proponent. And then it gets into some other stuff I don't really care that much about. Okay, but Fred did share in the Facebook live chat, although it's coming up on one computer and not the other, so it doesn't look like I can actually get to it. But it's from Wikipedia. List of heads of state and government who committed suicide. I can't get to it on this computer, Fred, but I want to see that because I'm genuinely curious. And why am I so curious? And what does that say about me? Probably nothing positive. I'm very morbid to be fascinated by this. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I bet I can get to it really quick. Please bear with me. List of heads of state and government who committed. Google doesn't autofill this. This isn't something people just look up all the time. Who committed suicide. Okay, Google search, and hopefully that Wikipedia page will show up. And why is this not doing anything? Okay, here we go. Okay, I was able to get to the article. Oh my goodness, this is really common. No, I'm not kidding. Like, this is a huge list. Apparently, it's all the rage around the world. Heads of state hanging or shooting themselves or jumping off buildings. But I don't see the United States here anywhere. So apparently in America, we must be doing something right because there are no former American presidents who killed themselves. But China, I see on here multiple times. My goodness. Georgia, not the state, obviously, but the country. This is all countries. Wow. Germany, I see a couple times. This is remarkable. Well, apparently it's, well, I'll tell you what, if you're thinking about running for, if you're one of our international listeners online, and if you're thinking about running for president of your government, maybe you shouldn't. Because you might decide to kill yourself. So there you go. Consider this a teachable moment, if you will. All right. What else have we got here? I'm kind of doing this a little bit on the fly because I thought I was going to have a guest, and the guest is apparently sick, but that's okay. Let's see. The Trump administration has announced new restrictions on travel to Cuba. Remember Obama tried to normalize things with Cuba, and then we elected Trump and said, oh, anything Obama did is garbage. I'm just going to undo all of it. And then all the Trump supporters said, yay! You remember when that happened? Well, that's still happening. It's an ongoing process, my friends. It says here, this is from thehill.com. The Trump administration is imposing new restrictions on travel to Cuba. National Security Advisor John Bolton said Wednesday through his mustache, Steve. I don't know if we haven't discussed this lately on the show, but I have a long-standing theory that John Bolton is actually some peace-loving, granola-crunching, tree-hugging hippie, and that it's actually his mustache. His mustache is secretly controlling the actions and deeds and words and foreign policy tendencies of John Bolton, and that it's Steve who is actually in control. And the way that I deduced that part was that there was a story a few months ago about how apparently Trump keeps calling John Bolton Steve instead of John. And I think it's because Trump, because he is a stable genius, he was able to figure out that it's actually Steve. Steve is the name of John Bolton's mustache, and it's actually the mustache that is in control. Because, and what probably happened is at some point during John Bolton's life, he was probably, maybe he was at Woodstock or something, you know, being a hippie or something, right? And peace and love and all that. And then this mustache, and who knows where the mustache came from, but the mustache saw him, needed a face to attach itself to in order to survive, and probably just leapt onto John Bolton's face and permanently affixed it to John Bolton's face, and now he can't get rid of it even if he wanted to. Like, he's probably tried to shave it off or something at some point. Just like, oh, I got to get rid of this Steve. It's ruining my life. Everyone hates me. They think I'm some crazy guy who wants to invade everybody and blow up the entire world. I got to get rid of this. And then it turned out he can't, because he goes to try to shave it, and it's extremely painful because now Steve and John have been fused together, and now that mustache is a permanent part of John Bolton's face. You can't trim it. You can't even go near it. If you do, like poison shoots out of the whiskers or something, and it'll defend itself, because no one, including John Bolton himself, is getting rid of that mustache. That's my theory. Now, some of you might, I realize, not all of you will subscribe to that. That's my theory. I could be wrong. But I mean, it's not unreasonable, is it? Okay, so here's what Bolton's mustache said at a speech in Miami to the Bay of Pigs Veterans Group on the 58th anniversary of the failed CIA-orchestrated invasion of the island in 1961. He said, quote, "The Department of the Treasury will implement further regulatory changes to restrict non-family travel to Cuba. These new measures will help steer Americans' dollars away from the Cuban regime," unquote. By the way, score one for protectionism. Remember, the Republican Party for a very long time was the party of free trade. But then Daddy came along, and by Daddy I mean Trump, and said, nope, we're not the party of free trade anymore. And then Republicans everywhere said, oh, okay. Because whatever Trump says, that's just how it is now. So, you know, after decades and decades of being free traders and supporting things like TPP and all that, it's like Trump says, nope, we're protectionists now. And then the entire Republican Party says, you got it. We're with you, bro. I don't know why that happens, but that's just it's his party now. Bolton also announced new limits on the amount of money Cuban Americans can send to relatives on the island at $1,000 per person. So just so we're all understanding this, the federal government, the libertarian lurking within me is particularly troubled by this. The federal government has decided to limit the amount of money, of your own money. You can't send more than $1,000 to Cuba if you want to. The reason that is particularly striking to me is because, hello to Christian Cunard, who joins us in the Facebook live chat. Jenny and I were having a conversation earlier about how mystifying it is that so many libertarians are pro-Trump. A lot of libertarians, I've noticed, really love Trump. And this is such an anti-libertarian thing, you know, like the federal government telling you can't send more than X amount of money to whoever you damn well please. That's very unlibertarian, wouldn't you say? But, I mean, I know why, though. It's because a lot of libertarians register as Republicans. And, you know, if you're going to be a part of the Republicans, you know, whatever Daddy says, or whatever Steve the mustache decides. That's just how it is now, and we don't question Daddy. We just go along with whatever. Let's see. The new restrictions come after Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said earlier in the day that the administration will allow U.S. citizens to sue foreign businesses using property seized during the 1959 Cuban Revolution, escalating pressure against the communist island nation. I don't have any particular opinion about that part because I don't feel like I know enough about that. The U.S. government has already certified nearly 6,000 claims valued at more than $8 billion in total, including actual value and interest. Taken together, these changes add up to a significant rollback of former President Obama's normalization of relations with Cuba, which Bolton criticized, or Bolton's mustache. Bolton said on Wednesday that the socialist governments of Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, Miguel Diaz-Canel in Cuba, and Daniel Ortega in Nicaragua are beginning to crumble. The walls are closing in, Bolton said of U.S. pressure against Maduro. There is no turning back. The people will prevail, and when they do, we know that Cuba will be next. And soon after, we pray, the third member of the Troika, Nicaragua, will also at last be free, unquote. God. Oh. Just a bunch of mind-bending neocon garbage. It just spews from him so freely. What a bunch of nonsense. Who even talks about Nicaragua anymore, right? That was oh, God. Yes, and they're all let's just cut right to the chase and just invade them all and Christianize them. And, oh, God, just a bunch of. Anyway, and then to finish this off, it says the U.S. has recognized National Assembly leader Juan, I'm never sure how to say this, Guaido. I've heard it pronounced a few different ways. Guaido, as Venezuela's interim president and tightened sanctions on the country over the past few months. Oh, just great. Let's see. It is, wow, it's the top of the hour already. Well, for having a guest who didn't show up, the show's going by actually pretty quick. Let's take a quick break. And wouldn't it be funny if the other guests, who I'm sure aren't going to not show, end up not showing as well? No, they'll be here, I'm pretty sure. But wouldn't it be funny if they're not? And by funny, I mean not really funny at all. You know, sometimes people say that. They don't, wouldn't it be funny if, and it's actually something that they're hoping doesn't happen. But, yeah, so let's take a quick break, and we will be back with more. And why do people, here's something else I've never understood. Why do people call my cell phone during the show? Like, obviously I'm not going to answer it. It's during my show. Oh, boy. All right. I know what to play. I know what I'm going to play. I'm going to play this. Okay, so let's take a break, and we will be back. You're listening to Matt Connarton Unleashed in the afternoon. We are live on this beautiful day. It's just gorgeous out here in Manchester, New Hampshire, and, of course, streaming at WMNHradio.org and on Facebook on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page, etc., etc. Oh, don't forget, by the way, we have a YouTube page now specifically for WMNH 95.3 and the various programs here, so please subscribe to that. I heard Peter White on the morning show give me great credit. He said that I had been working 24/7 on that YouTube page. Well, I do work hard. I don't know that I work 24/7, but anyway, we'll be back. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, I am from the British government with a fabulous announcement. No, I'm sorry, we still haven't sorted out this bleeding show, but we have finally managed to arrest our most wanted criminal. No, the other one, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Once we're done, we'll extradite his skippy ass off to Virginia to face a grand jury, because we're America's... Yeah, baby. We'd like to thank all who aided us in this operation, especially the Ecuadorian government.
Hola, I'm from the Ecuadorian government, and I'm here to confirm that our new president is America's too. That is why he agreed to cancel Harry Hacker's political asylum and let pigs enter our embassy to arrest him. ¿Será que nos pueden dar nuestro crédito el FMI ahora, por favor?
Hello, I'm from the Australian government. Since Mr. Assange is our citizen, we feel compelled to state in the strongest possible terms that we're America's too. That's why both of these bung stains will leave him up creek without a paddle. After all, we're the same holes who are prosecuting whistleblowers and banning encryption to make it harder for journalists to expose our Hello, I'm from the US government. We're grateful to all our for handing over Julian Assange, who is wanted on charges of making us look like war criminals, which of course we are. We have indicted the accused for the crime of helping his source to anonymously access documents in the public interest, otherwise known as good journalism. Journalists, of course, are not supposed to be good. They're meant to be week on questioning stenographers who publish what we tolerate. By extraditing a foreign journalist, we hope to send a clear warning to all journalists not to mess with our shit. We ask all of you to cooperate with us in setting this dangerous precedent by focusing on how the accused is a bit of an asshole instead of our attempt to destroy your press freedom. American Empire. Authorized by the United States of America.
Why are there so many words behind rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbow redactions, obscuring collusion. Rainbows have plenty to hide. What we've been told, we should all just believe it. But I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday unhide it, the rainbow reduction. That Trump is a crook, you'll just see.
Welcome, everybody. It's hour number 2. Matt Connarton, Unleashed in the afternoon. We're live on WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester. 603-250-6007 is the number to call. 603-250-6007. And this is from Reason.com. Tomorrow, the big day. America gets ready for Mueller. The special counsel's report on 2 years of investigating Trump and Russian ties drops on Thursday. Very, very exciting, although I'm trying not to get too excited for this because these things often are anticlimactic. It says, by this point tomorrow, America's focus will be on the contents of the report by special counsel Robert Mueller documenting the extent of Russian meddling in the 2016 presidential election and what role, if any, was played by people in President Donald Trump's orbit or campaign. The Department of Justice said that the nearly 400-page redacted report will be provided to both Congress and the public on Thursday. Attorney General William Barr has already previewed some of the contents, telling the public that Mueller's investigation did not find collusion or coordination between people on Trump's side and Russian nationals accused of hacking into the Democratic leadership's emails and publicly releasing them. Mueller also said the report does not find Trump colluded or coordinated the Russian nationals accused of running secret social media campaigns and attempting to hack into voting systems. Furthermore, while Mueller didn't come to a determination as to whether Trump had attempted to obstruct the investigation, Barr said the Justice Department concluded there wasn't enough evidence for criminal charges. Nevertheless, Barr's 4-page summary was never going to put this thing to bed. Americans want to see the full report and have a right to, which I absolutely 100% agree with. some thoughts in advance about what to expect from the report. Remember, this is supposed to be about Russian meddling, not just Trump. It's easy to forget that Mueller's focus was, in part, to determine the extent that Russians attempted to interfere with the 2016 presidential election. It was not solely about whether Trump or Paul Manafort or Michael Flynn or anybody else requested or had Russia's help in affecting the outcome. Expect a significant portion of the report to focus on what the Russians were doing independently of the relationship to Trump's campaign. It's also important to remember that as a result of Mueller's investigation, 13 Russian nationals were charged with various counts of fraud, identity theft, and conspiracy for their efforts to influence the election. Another 12 Russian intelligence officials were charged with the hacking of the Democratic National Committee and Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. But really, we all want to read the Trump parts. Mueller's orders were to look for any potential links between Trump's staff and the Russian meddling. In that sense, the investigation has been a bust for people who are hoping it would provide the ammunition to get Trump out of office. It's unlikely that the contents of the redacted report are going to differ that much from Barr's summary. There were a number of people in Trump's orbit who were indicted. Well, a number of that is quite a large number, actually. More than what was it, around 35? I think I kind of lost count. Actually, we have a call, so let's grab this. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Ridley.
Dave Ridley from the Ridley Report. How are you, sir?
Oh, not bad.
What's on your mind today?
Hey, I guess a Manchester police accountability activist, Carla Garrick, is going to be doing some policing of her own this month.
Policing of her own? Has she been deputized?
No, and it won't be policing against people. It will be, she'll be policing against trash. She's going to lead another trash pickup on Kelly Street on the 28th. But that, I mean, a trash, what's the word, trash cleaning up the street.
Oh, well, very nice. I think that's a worthy cause. Is she, like, why though? Like, why is she doing this? Just to because she wants to pick up trash, or is there something else that is she running for something currently, or what's going on?
She did run for Senate in the 2018 and I think the 2016 races.
Yes.
For state Senate. She lost both times. I think it's probably, I don't know, I think it's probably a good idea if you're a police accountability activist that you should be against, crime and in favor of cleaner neighborhoods. They
Yes.
say that, cleaning, I think I've heard that cleaning up trash does reduce crime.
Really?
Something like that. It was more like, it was maybe a little bit more like, making the neighborhood look better, or cleaning up graffiti reduces crime. But obviously, I can't imagine that there'd really be any difference between graffiti and trash on the ground. So,
is it the broken windows theory that if you have, like they say, if you have a neighborhood with broken windows, you're more likely to have people not caring about the neighborhood because they see broken windows, and so nobody cares, and then you have more crime and graffiti and so forth.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would say the thing to do, if you're interested in this and you're in Manchester, is just find her on Facebook, because it seems like they're doing this every 2 weeks or so. It's Carla Garrick, and it's spelled Gericke. Gericke.
Yes. No, I think that's great. I think that's a very worthy thing to do.
Yeah.
Anything else, Dave?
That is all.
Wow, that's quick and efficient. Do you want to say hi to virtual Dave Ridley while you're here?
I'm here. Of course, I love virtual Dave Ridley. No, I don't.
Okay.
Well, I'm not consistent, am I?
I guess not. No, very.
No one seems to be very excited.
Very conflicted, I suppose. Well, Dave, please give the Ridley Report a plug.
I always plug the Ridley Report. I've done that too many times, and so instead I will plug nhliberty.org. Okay. All right, enough of that.
Wow, I guess virtual Dave Ridley really wanted you to plug the Ridley Report.
Okay, whatever.
All right, Dave. Well, thank you so much for the call, my friend. Always appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Matt.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that was the human Dave Ridley, of course, not to be confused with the virtual Dave Ridley, although they sound very much alike. You know, it has not escaped me that it's almost 5:15. Could it be that my other guests actually aren't showing up either? Oh, no. Wow. Have I been shunned? Oh, terrible. I feel scorned. All right, getting back to this from Reason.com about the Mueller report dropping tomorrow. Let's see. I'm going to skip down actually a little bit. So it says, talking about what to expect. Expect a lot of chatter about the obstruction section because Mueller didn't decide whether Trump's attempts to stop the investigation count as obstruction. Legal Eagles and Talking Heads are going to examine the section with a fine-toothed comb for evidence that Barr is inappropriately deferential to Trump. And we have a couple of gentlemen. Our guests are here. Oh, wait, here we got to do this for our. There we go. Little air horn there. Hello, gentlemen. Yeah, have a seat wherever you like. Although that mic does have a processor on it, but that is the news desk. Of course, you're welcome to sit there, but wherever you guys want. I'll get those mics on, and I will let you gentlemen introduce yourselves. Those headphones there for you.
Matthew, how are you, buddy? It's good to see you.
Yeah, well,
it's been a while, yeah.
It's been a long time.
But maybe a decade or so. But I brought my close friend, Mr. Ape the Grim.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello,
gentlemen. Hello, Matt.
Hello. Nice to see you. And you should introduce yourself. You look like you kind of look like Liam Gallagher, but you are in fact not.
No, I'm Luxembourg royalty, as you know. But I came in. Ape he did not want me to wear typical regalia, so
yes,
he wanted me to street it up a little bit. So
you introduce yourself. I'll introduce mine.
Yeah, so Prince Tutch, Glift, the Rothchild, House Heart from Luxembourg.
Yes.
My name is Ape the Grim, representing 603 Trap Jaw affiliates.
Wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful.
yes.
Now, Ape, I don't think I've ever interviewed you.
Okay.
But at least I don't think I have I?
We've met before, but I've never been on the show, and I've just been meaning to get up here, and here it is.
Yes, it's wonderful to have you here. And, of course, you, sir, I interviewed, it wasn't really 10 years ago, was it?
Yes, I want to say around 2011, something like this.
Oh, so about 8 years ago. 7 or 8 years ago.
They don't pay me for math.
Airtight.
I know that's when you guys did that record, was like 09 or 10.
Wow.
Something around there, yes.
It's a classic, yes. So it's it's wonderful. Now, have you gentlemen recorded together?
Almost.
We've come together on a couple of projects.
We're trying to agree on a couple of beats. We're trying to align the rhythms, see what we can come up with.
Right.
Things to come, absolutely.
Very good. Very
Zal
good.
Brunis is persuading him, if you know what I mean. To
got to get the right joint. Got to get a record that's going to speak to both.
Yeah. Very nice.
Philosophy is different with women. Our philosophy is a little bit different with women. He's more what do they call yourself? A gentleman, I think.
Not me.
But
well, you're not a gentleman.
Well, in Luxembourg, I'm the gentleman.
Right. Yes. Of course. Yes. Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, we have some tracks, and Ape, you sent me some stuff earlier.
Yeah.
I will let you. Oh, Jenny is in the Facebook live chat. She says, "OMG, I love it." Paul, I don't know if this is someone you gentlemen know, and I don't know how to say his last name. Paul Ionescu.
What's up, Paul? Yep.
You know him? He says, "Greetings from Romania."
Ah, it's good.
Yeah,
yeah, Romania. How are you?
Wow, very nice. There. Truly international. Well, what's so I downloaded all these. What do you? I'll let you decide. What would you like to play?
Well, I gave you. Why don't you play a song called "You Decide"?
You Decide. Okay.
That's Grimfluence is actually that's just dropped this week. Ape the Grim and Bug Out from the group Granite State. It's one of my homies, one of my brothers.
Yeah.
We've been doing this music thing since the mid-'90s together with, the Trap Jaw affiliates, the whole team, New Hampshire. This song is very special. It's number 2 on the Grimfluence tape. It's like a best of Ape and Bug Out mixtape by DJ Myth that we released this week. And we're going to do a show this Sunday night on Easter Sunday at the Shaskeen on Rap Night.
Oh, very nice.
With my man Myth and some of the Trap Jaw homies. And
cool.
We're going to put it down on Easter Sunday. So come through and celebrate. If you like the song, please hit us up on the message board.
Yeah.
My man B-Tooth made the beat right here in Manchester.
And this is on, because I'd found it on Bandcamp. It's on that compilation. Grimfluence. And does that encapsulate your entire career? Because I think it says
everything the Bug Out and I have done.
The Bug Out and you have done. Okay,
there's more joints we did through the years, but we took 20 of the what speaks to what we're both trying to do right now. So
gotcha.
I'm going to release probably 3 projects this year.
Okay.
And he's doing the same. So it's like this will kind of kick off what we're both trying to do.
Right.
And we'll support each other as we have been, just to kind of reignite what the scene, the Trap Jaw affiliates vibe, the culture of hip-hop perfection that we have right here in New Hampshire.
Okay. Those Luxembourgians, or whatever you call them, are very clumsy.
He's very proud.
You ever notice? Yes.
Luxembourgish.
Luxembourgish, yes. Yeah.
But you can address me as just royalty. It's fine.
Yes. All right. All right, so let's give this a listen. This is You Decide. This is Ape the Grim and Bug Out. Anybody else on this track with you? And
produced by B-Tooth right here in Manchester.
B-Tooth. Oh, very good. Okay. Nope. We'll give this a listen, and then we'll come back and chat some more.
B-Tooth. Grimfluence. My man Ape, what up? Yeah, let's go. Money coming in, stacking to the ceiling. No better feeling than paying cash. No big borrow stealing. It's so appealing but so elusive. Get it, then we lose it. Ish. The hardest working ain't the highest paid. Get used to it. I know it sound ludicrous, but it's a fact. We're killing off the middle class, and government ain't really trying to get it back. Now how should I act? To see people turn to nihilists, hippies turn to violence, corpus playing the violin. I try again, studying the form of alchemy, till I'm on my way to Valhalla, getting ushered by Valkyries. What the fuck's reality? A chance to heal your ancestors, trying to build a tribe with rap night down in Manchester. Everything's a damn stress, I gotta learn to live above it. I'm shoveling it till I clear a path and run for it, cause fuck it, it's now or never. You could get the 4th letter, cause if you got it, you got it, so what the fuck's a go-get? At the end of our lives, all we ask is, did I live? Did I love? Did I matter what I give? We present it with an option. Every day we wake up. Either you live fully engaged or you selfish as fuck, so you decide.
Let's talk about what's going on, not only how I feel about it. Jawa already has my soul, I won't leave here without it. You and every person you know and love are rolled into one. We present our sins as virtues, on purpose then we run. Fantasies to them are factors to us. Be as grown as you are young, as serious as you are fun. The sweetest part of living is an awesome contradiction. Get it, king? That's all I'm in. True Masonic tradition. I bleed myself for the ills just to detox and provide what society needs most. What does peace cost? The revolutions in government have already taken place, but the evolution ourselves is not on pace. We constantly borrow against an onslaught of sorrow. Don't limit your control, your fucking voting power's colossal. You never know, look what started out in Colorado. Bravo, someone had the balls to start the convo. The artist should be sensitive, the businessman is not. Do you wanna make a difference or a shitless? Hey, just a thought. And never let it feel like everybody's keeping score. Can you anoint my feet, they sword? It's trying to keep it real with y'all. And AP hears it all, but I'll never let it fester. And I don't wanna ever be afraid to listen to somebody's record. Watch it do it and you're right, everything's got a price. People co-sign moves that'll get you locked up for life. Some can be tough and demanding. I crush you with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, like I crushed it and rubber band it, stuck it right in your commandments. You can light more than a candle, or we gon' die trying to do what y'all said we can't do. Come
At
on.
the end of our lives, all we ask is, did I live? Did I love? Did I matter what I give? We present it with an option. Every day we wake up. Either you live fully engaged or you selfish as fuck, so you decide.
2019 Trap Jaw affiliates.
Oh, I like that. That's excellent. So that's Ape the Grim and Bug Out. And who'd you say was...
My man B-Tooth on the beat.
B-Tooth,
man.
yeah.
That's the second song on the Grimfluence mixtape. And it's... I'm wondering what my favorite song on the tape is. That's one of them. It's probably the most serious song on the tape.
Yeah.
And
it's catchy as hell.
Yeah, it's one of those substance songs.
Right.
Those never get old, especially with what's going on in the world now.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we also have here, I like to let you introduce yourself, Your Highness, because I don't want to make a mistake.
You can't pronounce it, huh? It's Prince Tutch von Glift, the Rothchild.
Yes.
But when I spent time in England, it was they call me Bobby Rothchild.
Oh, they do. Wow, interesting.
So I was thinking about possibly putting
there's
an album out as Bobby Rothchild with Handsome Mike, who is another rapper from here. So.
Oh, okay.
Handsome Mike is a good rapper.
Yeah.
I do want to say a quick hello to Princess Greta, my new wife.
Wow! Congratulations! I didn't
royal duties.
I have to be honest with you. When we met before, you didn't strike me as the marrying kind.
When nice girl from Luxembourg, comes around, sometimes she'll steal your heart. You understand this?
Sure. Yeah, no, very good.
Hello to my wife, Princess Greta.
Yes. And Ape, you've worked with a lot of different people, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, since '97. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody I respect and know, I'd love to do something with you.
You've been rapping that long? Wow.
Since I was 16. Yeah.
No kidding. Yeah, because I remember. You know Slicko, of course.
Slicko, yep.
I remember I think he's the one who first brought you to my attention, and you were working with Undue Cotty
on the Jaw and Order album.
Okay, yeah, and I think that's when I first.
That was 10 years ago.
I think that's when I first kind of became aware of it.
Check it out, Ape and Undue, Jaw and Order. That's available. That's one of the New Hampshire classics.
Yeah.
If people I'm sure you had the album and maybe the singles.
Yeah.
We got Mighty Sam McLean on there. He's a blues great. Rest in peace, my homie. I got a bunch of songs with him.
Yeah.
But that's probably one of the best, called Count Your Blessings.
Okay.
Let's see. We got Apathy on there. Got to Be the Shoes.
Yep.
That song. We got King Mag, Attack. That's my man Terminology, Rex.
Oh, wow.
This is 10 years ago, man. It was 16 hot. When I put out an album, man, these are going to be memorable pieces of art that I want to live by.
Yeah.
A mixtape is, might be just a bunch of just rawness, all hodgepodge into one radio session stuff. Matter of fact, do you have people rap live here on your show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do that if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see. We'll see what we got.
Is it important to you to put out albums? Because, we live in an era now where, of course, you can do that, or you can just put out EPs, or you can just put out singles, just put out singles online.
I think when you're our age and you grew up in the 80s or in, early on, or even maybe in the 2000s, you were looking for a full piece of music.
Right.
Like if you like an artist and you're a music person,
yeah, exactly.
You're going to want to embody everything that guy is saying and doing, and you're going to want to hear the whole thing if you like that, if you're like me.
Right.
So, no, if people are not buying whole albums, I think enough people still do.
Yeah.
Enough people want to hear something through. So I suggest you pull it together as it's one piece, something that's going to characterize this chapter of your life.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense, yeah. And then do you try to have any kind of a theme when you do that, or are you not necessarily?
Yeah, usually, with my albums are pretty broad because I know so many producers. I have so many vibes. I can kind of capture all feelings of life,
right?
All the essences of what's going on. So I want to make something that's full.
Yeah.
Nothing sounds like the last track.
Right.
You don't want to do too many. But when you have like a bunch of singles and they're all, you could kind of make one song to make an album from, and then the album you could live off of. When it comes to, this is the next album I'm going to listen to for the next year strong. I'm going to learn it. That's the stuff I'm about now when I do.
Yeah.
It's a journey, man. So I mean, if you checked it out or not, but when you do, you're going to really get into what I'm about. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's not for nothing, anything I'm doing.
Right,
You know, and I
right.
pay a lot of money to make beautiful music.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. Like, it's all like the production quality is outstanding. You know, there's nothing, you know, because you got a lot of these, like,
Yeah.
you
It's
know,
disposable now.
yeah. But you're doing really quality stuff, and of course, His Highness over here, everything he does is
for real.
fantastic as well.
Absolutely.
I think
I don't want him to kill me. So
no, it's good. It would never. My hands would always be clean. Diplomatic immunity, my friend.
I know that's what worries me.
I think what attracted me most to not physically, but I mean, he has handsome man, but
yes.
But his music is Ape likes to tell stories, start to finish. It's a story all the time.
Yes,
and I think he touched on it a bit. The music that comes out today is very much just about, you know, sex and money, which is, you know, very much what my music is about. But
I've noticed that you definitely have a theme.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
It's and you know, when you said you know, do you put out an album? I was hoping you would just stop at put out, because this is more of an important thing, I think, in the city of De Lang, which, as you know, is where we are from.
Yes,
my brother and I, who is serving as Minister of Thrust in Sweden right now.
Right.
So royal duties. A lot of people thought airtight was no more, and this is not true. I happened to move back to England for a little bit.
Yes.
Which is where I run into Ape the Grim.
Yes.
And you know, I was working with my band Digital Sock Pump, which was like electro heavy metal type of. I don't know. It's just garbage music.
Sure.
You know?
Well, he's got sex and money.
Right.
I'm about love and security.
Right.
So there's two sides to each pancake.
Two sides of the same pancake.
So,
yes.
Yeah. And then we come together to the point where maybe we can make something happen with the forces I bring.
Right.
What he brings.
Yeah.
Just maybe, truth be heard, truth be told, worlds be created, put entities together.
There you go.
And love, fight, hate, and win.
And he probably needs someone to collaborate with now that his brother is Minister of Thrust.
You need somebody to help
which is
spend
an
all that.
important job. So
That's
a very
an
important job, especially in
You got to
Sweden.
tend to the dames.
Very important position.
Especially.
Tend
Minister
to
of
those
Thrust.
dollars.
Yes.
He's got to put those accounts to work.
Right.
You dig? And like I can do good things with those items.
Right.
And I'm not going to blow it. You dig? And
It's
true.
true.
I would say I'm pretty conservative in that sense.
Yes.
To
absolutely.
the point where nothing is for nothing, and we're not going to throw it away. Substance is going to rule the day.
I mean, I literally will wipe with hundreds, and he's not. You know, he says no. 2-ply is good for me.
Right.
Give me those hundreds, and I will do some good in the world for this.
Yes.
So,
yes. I think that's wonderful.
I'm proud to be associated with a gentleman like this.
Yes.
He
Yes.
taught the prince how to pray.
Oh, really?
Recent.
Well, you've got to pray just to make it today.
He tried.
Well, absolutely.
Yes. He tried.
He tried. Well, he makes attempts. He
Okay.
tries to get it through. You
All
gotta take
right.
your glasses off to do it. I tell him.
Yes.
This is not. Does not happen often. Is it? There's only one person.
So,
who
like
sees
we said,
glasses
this
off,
Sunday,
you know?
y'all. I just want to remind you guys. This Sunday is Happy Easter. Okay.
Oh, yes.
I'll black out for 3 days.
That's how you celebrate
I can black
Easter?
out for 3 days off the head, straight.
Sure,
and
sure.
then we're going to end it at Rap Night right here down the street, 1 block away.
Yes.
At the Shaskeen with DJ Myth.
Great club.
8 Bizza, my man Ill by Instinct.
Oh, 8 Bizza is awesome. I've interviewed him a bunch of times. Yeah, I-9.
Undo will be there.
I-9 is
will be
phenomenal.
there. Cody Pope will be there. And my brother Kurt Grimm.
Very nice.
Will be there.
Very nice.
It's a family affair.
Yeah.
Sunday service. And I was about to go as far as say we're going to have no alcohol on Sunday, but I can't do that. It's Easter. We're going to party. And we're going to have wine. And we're going to have fun.
Very nice.
On Sunday.
Does I-9 still rap at 1,000,000 miles an hour? Is he like still doing that?
He's one of the best at that.
Yeah. You're not kidding.
Oh,
yeah.
he's smart. He's got bars too. He's got.
Oh yeah.
He and LB have. I just heard him the other night. They have this song where they just go back and forth and lines. It's really good, and it's on some boom bap stuff. And it's
very good. Yeah,
hard lines.
No, that's good. He's amazing.
Those are some bars.
Yeah,
considerable bars.
Yeah,
you guys make bars.
New England's very underrated for hip hop.
I agree.
Think so.
I agree. Yeah,
it is. It's because why? It's not bigger than life up here.
That's true.
You can come up here and get your whole life together and have everything.
Or you could come here and let your whole life fall apart.
Including hip-hop. And if you want to have too much of one, you might lose some of the beauties of the other, and then it becomes a thing to where you get into the drugs and do the things that are happening and plague this area.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
there's enough to keep yourself consumed with the good and to want to help those people that might need an angel and might need help. That's happening.
This is why he's such, he's a good influence on me. He's a grim influence on me.
He's a grim influence. I see what you did there, Your Highness. Very nice.
Thank you for addressing me as such.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I want to be very careful.
Zal Drunas is always right outside. So
yeah,
Zal Drunas, he's a security, as you know.
I think I remember meeting him before.
Yes, he's the best in the business.
I think I called him Zal, and he didn't like that.
He
didn't like that.
He did not.
He got kind of upset with me.
Yeah, Chersky, Siberia. They grow a big guy out there.
Yes, certainly. Well, why don't we? Let's talk about the Declaration.
Yeah, cool.
Because we were talking about that while the other song was playing. But
yeah,
what you were saying about it was interesting.
That's the best song I got that I didn't write.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But let's talk about what you're doing with that. Can you explain that?
So I took the Declaration of Independence, printed it off a few years ago. This is probably 2011. And I found the rhythm to it, put it to a beat, and recorded it as a song. And I spit it as bars.
Yeah.
A 40-bar verse, an 86-bar verse, and then a 40-bar verse.
Okay.
So it is a 9-minute song, very lyrical, word for word. Everything that Thomas Jefferson put in the Declaration of Independence, and it hits the beat, and it kind of I like it. It's good. People enjoy it, a cappella or over the beat. Every time I've done it, it seems to go over well.
Yeah,
and it kind of makes you, maybe appreciate a little bit about why everybody loves Hamilton, and
right?
All those things. I mean, I recorded this, and while I was reading the Hamilton.
Oh, okay.
Book at the same time.
Is that what inspired you to do it?
No. I didn't even know about the Broadway special until when I was about halfway through the book.
Yeah,
and I had already done the Declaration.
Oh, okay.
So my man Neuromancer made the beat on this one.
Yeah.
It's going to be on Ideal 2 coming out later this year, which is a follow up to The Idealist, Ape the Grim, The Idealist, which is out now everywhere, iTunes. You everywhere you can stream, you can find it anywhere.
Yeah.
Ape the Grim, The Idealist is out, but Ideal 2 is the follow-up coming out later this year. I was going to put the Declaration on Idealist. I didn't. It's going to be out.
Okay.
You can see it on YouTube. I went up to South by Southwest and performed it a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
With my homie's New Fame.
Okay.
And I recorded that. It's on. Check out my Facebook. You can check out on YouTube, Performing Live.
Yeah.
Ape the Grim on YouTube. Ape the Grim on Instagram, Ape the Grim on Facebook.
Very nice.
And Twitter.
And you've been where else have you performed this? Have you performed this other places as well?
Every year I do the Memorial Day Parade in Exeter downtown for the whole town.
Very cool.
Yep. I'm really into Freemasonry, the craft of the culture of Freemason. I'm a Mason in Epping. I do it at. I do this. I perform this at the lodges as programs. Classrooms, historical society. Last night I performed at an essay contest in Bedford.
No
for
kidding.
The Bedford Historical Society.
Oh, wow.
Anywhere where anybody would like to hear it.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Daughters of the American Revolution had me perform it for them.
Yeah.
Anywhere. And when I choose to pull it out live at a venue where people are drinking and it's rowdy and it's like they want hype, I'm going to make sure we got like people that appreciate the sound is good, and they're going to listen and not just oversee or just kind of, maybe overlook what's going on. It's 9 minutes straight, and I want you to listen.
Right. So that's interesting. So do you sometimes kind of make you kind of have it ready, but you don't necessarily?
I pull it out if it's right.
If it's right, yeah.
I can kind of gauge the situation, the jam, and say, I know there's going to be a lot of all-age people there.
Yeah.
People that might be looking for hip-hop to inspire.
Right.
And I notice when you're putting love out there and you're spitting your introspective stuff and you're doing your spiritual stuff, man, people like real music people tune in.
Yeah.
And, people, you get fans for life doing those songs.
Oh, sure.
But when you want to appeal to the lower vibrations, just come out and just kind of diss and do those bars and just kind of violent stuff. It's just competitive.
Yeah.
I guess you got to choose your jam. Just kind of pick the right venue for it. And, when you get older, you're going to want to kind of do stuff that matters at this point, which...
That makes
sense. I have
sense.
a World War II rap synopsis as well I was going to send
Really?
you called Operation Incredible. That was actually on my first mixtape, my first release, Firepower 1, DJ Logics. This is 2006, Ape the Grim, Firepower 1, Fixed Bayonets.
Yeah.
Operation Incredible. It's my World War II rap synopsis.
Wow.
So I'm trying to do a history tour, if you will.
Oh, wow.
To schools, colleges. This song is recorded as well, Operation Incredible. I could send you that. I was going to.
Please, yeah.
That's about 7 minutes of like everything in World War II, all the major events.
Oh, no kidding.
With 4 different beats as the tide of the war changes. And that's one of those songs that I did for college in class in 2004 at Northern Essex for my World War II course.
Wow.
And that was my final project. And that's like, and it happened to be my second song on Firepower 1, my first release, which I'm re-releasing this month.
Okay.
It's not out online. We never put it online. It was hard copies back in 2006. I'm still in 8, but I was more primitive then.
Okay.
Ape the Grim, Firepower 1, DJ Logics,
right.
Fixed Bayonets. I'm gonna when you see me next time, I'm gonna have copies of Firepower 1 as well as Grimfluence.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And please send me that other track, or send me anything you want to send me. Absolutely. We'll probably play. I don't want to play it today just because it's so long, the declaration, and I don't want to cut into our
play
time
it next week
chatting. But yeah. I might actually next week we're on vacation. Next week is best of all week.
Okay.
But I will play. Maybe I'll play it tomorrow to open the show because I usually open the show with like a big intro,
something longer. Yeah.
Usually something longer. So maybe I'll play it tomorrow because I definitely want to play it.
Yeah. Let me. What time are you going to play it? Because I might have to promote it, man.
Yeah. You know what? I'll open the show with it tomorrow. So
this is 5 o'clock.
4 o'clock. 4. Yeah. Show starts at 4.
Right,
so so I'll play it right at 4. Yeah. To open. That's perfect. Yeah.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you, man, so much.
Yeah, no.
Thank you. And hey, folks, if you're out there and you want me to come and perform the Declaration, Operation Incredible, and I have a number of other history songs that I can do a whole program for your class, as well as hat tricks, freestyles, and I can sit there and talk philosophy of hip-hop, livelihood versus culture versus the business all day and talk about the values and what kids should be going for these days and what success means in different situations.
Yeah,
but Ape the Grim, hit me up on Ape the Grim. Email me, apethegrim@gmail.com. Just if you want me to come rock with you, email me personally. Hit me up on Instagram, Ape the Grim, GRIM, 1M. God resides in man.
That's beautiful.
Facebook, Ape the Grim. Hit me up. I want to come rock and put me in front of some people, man. I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on one thing that
yes, Your Highness.
The song that Ape and I crossed paths in England, right? But he has song on Idealist 1, on Idealist. It's called Rebel Souls.
Yes.
And I'm not lie. This is for me, it's absolutely without a doubt one of my favorite hip hop songs by anyone.
Yes.
By anyone. Period. Rebel Souls.
I'll tell you why.
Is my personal favorite, and of course, if you don't mind, it's another track called "Wanna Go."
Okay.
And he has second verse. The entire thing, the whole second verse is acronym for his alter ego, I guess.
Ape.
Is it? Ape with an S and then a hit after that. Every single...
It's a 40-bar acronym verse.
Acronym.
That just rhymes. I've done
acronym.
that before with APE as well.
Oh,
On
okay.
Animal Odyssey and Firepower 1.
Oh, okay.
I try to take it... I do things people don't do. I Declaration of Independence rap.
The man's an undiscovered gem, as far as I'm concerned, for the Granite State and hip-hop in general.
If I'm into it, man, I live it. I can lyricalize it. Is that a word?
It is now.
It is now, yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah.
So, but I'll tell you why he likes Rebel Souls.
Okay.
That's a song I did about, talking about us growing up in the 90s. When you didn't really have direction and you were just you love rap music, and Radio MTV Raps was what it was.
Right, with Ed Lover.
It was like what I could imagine being a young man in America.
I wrote
would be
this
like.
in the first person as if I was 17, 16, the language I would have used then.
Oh, okay.
I didn't grow up yet. That's why he loves this song.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? This this song, I use words I wouldn't use now.
Oh.
But I'm trying to act like I am 17 in the song. When you go back and listen, like I said some stuff, it's more like, it's not, I would want to make it clean before I gave it to you.
Gotcha, yeah.
But he likes that song because, like, I'm still raging, I'm still have no control.
Oh, okay.
That's why he likes Rebel Souls.
Okay,
I consider myself, a rebel of royalty, if it were, as it were, or however you said that in this America.
Understood.
If you don't pray for himself, we pray for him too. We pray for you to find royalty in your kingdom, and what kingdom that is.
I like that.
I like it as well, but I don't know if I've told you, I have an entire room whittled from one piece of gold. So,
that's the kingdom.
It's beautiful.
You've created for the next world, and hopefully you dwell.
Hopefully, I come right back to this one.
All the girls will be there with you, man. Like there when it's eternal.
I do recall you talking about that. Your entire
absolutely,
room
whittled from one piece.
But you didn't whittle it yourself.
I don't do anything myself.
Right.
I got dressed myself today, which is unusual.
Yes.
But Princess Greta has asked I do a few things more for myself lately. Like you can put your shoes on yourself. And, it's okay.
Oh, all right.
I understand. This is she's very Americanized. So.
And is she all right with your lifestyle? Shall we say?
Are you talking my concubines?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which of the wives you talking?
Which
the new one?
The one that he sometimes thinks these concubines are wives and they are.
Which one did you promise everything to? All of them?
No, just this would be Princess Greta would be my wife that I take actual vows with. That I said I promise I won't be scumbag for rest of life, and but the concubines stay, and so most of them are doing house duties more than servicing thy royal peace.
Okay, well she's okay with that.
Yeah, she is.
As long
does
as
not like it, but this is customary in my country. So, I mean, what you want me to do?
Because then she doesn't have to do any house duties because they're doing that.
Oh, absolutely not.
Right.
She would never.
Right. Yeah. How did you meet?
Her dry cleaner sent her the wrong clothes, and she doesn't care. She's very forgiving.
Oh,
she still uses the same service. Amazes me.
Is that how you met? You have the same dry cleaner, or
no? Actually, I had brought her in. She was working for a major corporation, and I said, "Who's this?" She's very good looking. She seems very nice. Good head on shoulder, and next thing I know, I tried to tell Zaldrunas, you chloroform this one and bring her back to my room. And it turns out she's not. She'd rather I just speak to her nicely and treat her with respect.
Trying to influence her through him, and she is not expecting that kind of treatment. But when she sees how we can do things, she tries to have hope for him too.
She responded well to this
because you can be that way for her.
Right.
It is. So, and I got to say, she's, what did you guys say here for happy wife is a happy life, or something of this nature?
Something like that. Yeah.
So it's I'm very, I love her very much.
Oh,
and
good.
Good. I am.
Well,
I'm in love.
We're glad that you're happy.
Yes, it's good.
It's very nice. Very nice. You've really grown since last time I
I'm 6'3" now.
Yeah, wow.
I was 6'2" last time you saw me.
Oh, right. That's amazing. Well, royalty actually, your bones expand as you get older instead of shrink, which is amazing.
That, and I stand usually on about 4 stacks of hundreds, which is about this big.
Certainly,
my shoes.
Right. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Are you married, Abe?
No.
Yeah. He hasn't, because it sounds like it's great from the way he describes it. You can still have a concubine do your cleaning, and it sounds like a good deal.
He doesn't like this about me. The concubines, he thinks is not, but he doesn't understand. In this country, it's different than in mine.
Doesn't approve.
There'll be a time when I find my everything. Who's ready to change the world from the inside out.
Yes.
With me, and
right.
it's hanging with my brother here. I don't maybe a little push back. With what's going to happen, and maybe I won't quite run into the love yet when I'm vibing this way. But I'm hoping for the best when we kind of get where we need to get. Make some things happen. Other things will fall into place.
He doesn't have any other friends that will let him drive tanks. Okay, Royal tanks, Royal Corvettes. We whip those things.
Yeah,
as long as I'm addicted to adrenaline.
Yes,
I'm not going to find that one.
Yeah, if you're driving
Those
tanks.
are one of those things.
Yeah. Can I drive a tank?
Matt, of course.
Oh, that'd be exciting.
Absolutely. I'll give you the keys to the tanks and the Royal Corvettes.
Wow. Yep. That's quite remarkable. All right.
We must keep the rag tops up on the Corvettes, though. This is only royalty. Whips those vets with the rags top down.
Yes.
Pedal to the metal, wind tilting my crown. You know this.
Well,
you know this.
I don't. I really don't know this, but I'm learning a lot.
Now you sit shotgun with me, baby, and we're going to cruise.
All right. Well, let's before we run out of time, let's play another track, and then we'll come back and kind of wrap up, and you can plug the show this weekend again. But
hey, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you want to play?
I would say let's play "Make It Through." People out there, this is a song I did. DC and I recorded back in 2003, with homegirl Kim Torres. Beautiful rock, folk, soul human being from the Portsmouth, Kittery area, Seacoast area.
Cool. Just dropped a video for
Kim
it too,
Torres. She's amazing.
Okay.
We did this song with her. This is really not her sound, really, if you listen.
Okay.
But we kind of brought like a really nice melody, love, tone with a really soulful groove. DC used kind of a breakbeat rhythm with it, and we just kind of created one of those unforgettable songs with the aura that kind of makes you undeniably want to just be around good people.
Yeah.
It's called Make It Through. We have a video we just released. My man Spike Pitt. Gooba and Spike Pit Productions did the video. It's called Make It Through, Ape the Grim on YouTube. It's on Facebook as well.
Okay.
To play the song, man, it's going to be on Ideal 2 as well with The Declaration, a number of other dope records. Right. And I'm so excited that you're going to support and play this song as well, man. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Make it through.
All right, let's take a listen.
The only thing stronger than karma, forgiveness. Everything has a story, it was written. Everyone needs to live out their life's mission. You got all the answers, you can't explain intuition. Learn to love listening, close your eyes, take it in. I don't want to miss a thing, it's the greatest win when you can be present, especially with friends. Remember, this moment will never happen again. Is the it factor for them the same to you? Everything's debatable, but does it have to make us two? Cause we could be one, but I'd rather choose to live and not try to survive. Cause guys like Grim usually don't make it through, plus or minus. Why they gotta get it f***ed up and divide us? Behold the power of silence. It sucks, we're all a little biased.
All you really need is that love in your life. You're gonna make it through whatever happens to you. So if you found that one, make sure you love them right. You're gonna make it through whatever happens to you.
The truly humble don't desire to be admired. I'm just too addicted to making fires. See, there's qualities you need as a person. I need too much time for contemplation and rehearsing. I'm stuck in this challenge to myself and I'm struggling. It made me weird. Sometimes I don't know what I am or who I was. I just know I gotta be grim. I keep it real as you possibly can. When you don't speak your mind, it can be read. It's important to recognize when it's the end. But if you can't help but feel you have been reborn, and you can't help but spill in any beat you speak on, and you're ready for the world and all of its attacks, the insurmountable hate and you just love them back. Well, even your friends don't understand you anymore, cause they know but can't believe that you're ready for the world stage. Might as well be the pearly gates. I'm running off pure love and I'm doing great. I should sell all my shoes and go to law school. I break all the rules cause I was taught to. Like when it's true and you can't prove, the feeling's awful. Don't sleep on the gospels from the other 9 apostles. I love being the best kept. Your next step should be forgive, no accepts.
All you really need is that love in your
Wow, that's great stuff. We've got Ape the Grim here with us in the studio, as well as His Highness
Prince Tutch, Glift, the Rothchild.
Yes. Is there something shorter I can call you? Because that's a lot to spit.
One.
Just touch one? Yeah. All right, because that's a lot to spit out, man.
It's a mouthful.
Ape the Grim is much easier.
Yeah, that's a beautiful name for a guy who bangs so hard on a track like that.
Yes, yes.
Like it beats on his chest like Ape, you know?
Oh my goodness, wow. Is that, where does the name come from?
Actions prove effective. APE. No, it's just, let's see. Back in the day, I mean, I still play basketball. I'm always a basketball guy. I have long arms.
Yeah.
My ears used to stick out when I was younger, skinnier. I looked more like a little ape when I jump and hang on the rim. I could dunk.
Yeah.
And everybody like, oh, look at him. He's so APE became my graffiti right when I was about 12 years old, 6th grade. 12
okay.
years old.
Yeah.
Went out and got arrested for graffiti at 12 years old.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
And at that point, I was writing. I used to write Big J, and then I started writing Ape.
Oh, okay.
Big J. It was Big J.
You got arrested when you were 12?
Well, yeah, I mean, when your kids, you don't get cuffed and stuff.
Right, right. Yeah.
They come to your house, and it's a big thing.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it was tough, man. I got grounded for a week. And had to do community
Mrs.
service.
the Grim was not happy.
I got arrested for graffiti 3 times before I graduated high school.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
But really, when it comes to crime and doing things in the street and all that, it's just not. It's not ideal, man.
Right.
Idealism, grim idealism, that's not the business, man.
Right.
There's enough going on out here in the world.
Yeah.
You're responsible, man, to make your way in the world and earn something, give back, and and just create.
Right. Right. Yeah.
There's a lot here. A lot of people died for this, man, and
right.
You got to continue to just build, man.
Yeah. No. Well said.
And
the variation of your name that we can't say on the radio. Did you stop using that because was that becoming a problem just in terms of marketing?
Basically, it's highly really
Yeah.
Yeah, it's catchy.
Yeah.
When you're on MySpace.
Right.
You can spell it with a $sign and an exclamation point. And,
that's true. Yeah.
And the @ sign is the A.
Yeah.
And that becomes your tag thing. And
right.
You can. That's kind of what people know me as still. But
okay.
I think there's a band, maybe a hardcore band, used to be.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right.
I mean, to each his own. I mean, you can't do much with that name besides rile people up with it. But Ape the Grim, nobody's using that but me.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to battle for that one if that comes down to it.
There you go. Yeah. Well, before we run out of time, because we just have a couple minutes left, why don't you, if you can plug the show again.
Yeah, this Sunday, April 21st, Easter. Come be with us late, of course, be with your family, brunch, be with your parents, church, all that, whatever you do. But 9 p.m., 9:30, 10 p.m., come through to Rap Night at the Shaskeen right here on Elm Street. Rap Night, Grimfluence release, Ape the Grim and Bug Out, DJ Myth. Special guests, my man Cody Pope, Unducati, Kurt Grimm, and my man LB. Among others, Ill by Instinct, I9, my man Abe Bizza, all kinds of other lyricists going to come through to throw it down as we always do with the freestyle sessions. They're legendary over there every Sunday night. Find yourself at Rap Night, man. See what everybody's talking about. Shaskeen, Manchester.
And where should people go online to keep up with everything that you're doing and get your music and stuff?
Check me out, Ape the Grim on Facebook, Ape the Grim Instagram, Ape the Grim on Twitter.
Okay.
ApeTheGrim.com will be back up within about 2 weeks.
Oh, great. Perfect.
You can look at Ape the Grim and look my videos on YouTube. Ape the Grim on YouTube. All my videos.
Awesome.
Flip the hat. I got plenty of hat tricks. You can find me on some battles out there, freestyling.
Oh, cool.
A lot of different facets, outlets in this hip hop, and I've been doing them all for so long, and I'm not going to stop.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for coming in. And Touch One over here, you got anything you want to mention?
I don't have to plug anything personally for myself because I have people that do this, but I do want to say Ape the Grim's working. I introduced him to a close artist friend of mine, M3K. He did most recent album that's coming out soon, Love and War. He did cover for this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Working on some merchandise and things. So it's another relationship that
Shout out my
came
homegirl
together.
Rachel Ferguson too, who's gonna work with that piece you did for the Love and War and finalize the artwork. And she finalized the artwork for Grimfluence. So shout to Rachel Ferguson.
Cool.
Manchester's finest.
Very nice. Very
Manchester
nice.
Ferguson.
Fergie.
Yeah, Rachel Ferguson artwork. Rachel Ferguson design. Check her out.
Okay.
She is very involved with Rap Night and all the hip-hop soul stuff that happens in the city.
All right. Very nice.
Word.
All right, gentlemen, we are out of time. Thank you so much. This has been wonderful. And if you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org. And we're out of here for now. I'll talk at y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
IPMNation.com.